Hello, welcome back to Crushing Sounds. My name is Chris. It's been way too long since we've done an interview, so let's kick off 2023 with one right now. I'm joined by the awesome Tribe of Ghosts. Thank you so much for
Hello.
joining me. Thank you so much, guys, for joining me. Would you like to introduce yourselves and your role within the band?
Shall we go from the boss first?
Alrighty, that's me. Hi, I'm Becky. I am vocalist of Tribe of Ghosts.
I am Adam. I'm the guitarist and vocalist for Trouble Ghosts.
And I'm Ben, and I'm the bass player.
Awesome. Thanks again so much for joining me today. So I thought we could do the generic starting point and do the obvious question out of the way. How did Tribe of Ghosts come to be as a unit?
So this is, for us, it's a very interesting question. It starts, I know that essentially Tribe has existed since 2018. Like Tribe of Ghosts started in 2018. Was me, Ben, our previous drummer, and our old guitarist. We were an entirely kind of different entity, a different kind of sound, like a very, very different sound. During the first lockdown, our old drummer Abby, decided to leave, which was all cool, just wasn't really up for gigging anymore. And then when Abby left, we then got Danny, drummer now. We invited Danny to join. And I suffer with a couple of health issues in my voice, so to kind of help that out and to kind of do something new and interesting and to kind of do something a bit more fun for us and to get in the challenge, we invited Becky. And when Becky joined, well, I'll let you say that, boss.
Well, I joined, and to start with, we were, again, it was different material from what it was like in the four piece with Adam, Ben, Abby, and old guitarist Rob. But it was still very post metal. With some of the characters, we wrote some of our first songs. This was sort of the end of 2020, start of 2021. We actually, one of the first songs we worked together that still lasts is Rain, which is one of our current singles. But in a previous format with just very guitar driven. We had no synths or atmospherics really whatsoever, apart from maybe a couple of samples on a little one of those drum pad things. And we did, with lockdowns and things, took a while to get gigging. Did a couple of gigs at the end of 2021, just opening and stuff for people. And after our second gig together, our guitarist Rob, it was decided it was his final show with us, and decided, love him to death. It's just didn't have the time to commit to the band, especially with the vision of where we wanted to take it. And at that point, we all had the decision to make: do we find another guitarist, or do we see where being a four-piece takes us? And we just took it to 10. Adam got stuck in with becoming a ridiculous electronic producer. And we rearranged all our songs, we wrote new songs, spent probably 4 or 5 months doing that. And that was the start of 2022. And then our first show back was the beginning of June.
Yeah, it was beginning. It was supporting Aluna and Famine, which was a banging gig.
Yeah, it was a really good first show.
Yeah, awesome stuff. You mentioned a couple of times there that the band existed in a sort of original form. I noticed on, I guess, the heavy metal go-to website, Metal Encyclopedia, or whatever it's called, Tribe of Ghosts are on there, and there was a bunch of songs I'd never heard of. I thought, is this the right band? It's got all your names.
Yeah.
So it's like, where is this new material I've not heard yet?
So those are actually the first EP that we did, which was me, Ben, Rob, and Abby. So the EP's up. It's on I believe it's up on our Bandcamp, so it's still there to listen. But there was a very weird point when it got to the lockdowns where we all kind of, I think at that time before Becky and Danny joined, it was a very limbo, ambiguous kind of time. So it got to a point where I didn't really know what was happening. Ben and I were kind of going, we don't really know what's happening. So I took it down from streaming stuff because it was one of these things where it was up there, it was up, and left it on Bandcamp, and that was about it because we didn't really push anything. So it does exist. It's on Bandcamp. You can download it, but it's absolutely nothing to like in relation to what we sound like now. It's more of a bit of a legacy thing for us to kind of go, we did this. This is what we did.
Yeah, fair enough. It's always cool to have that history just kept there in some form or fashion, basically, for wherever you guys end up in, wherever that may be. Also, I'll get the other really obvious question out of the way. What was the inspiration behind the name Tribe of Ghosts?
It was a phrase that I had swinging around my head. I thought about it, just had it as a little brain bug in my head for a little while. Dropped a demo back in 2016 under that name as well as a solo instrumental idea, which bits of that are in one of our songs now. So that, it's the longest song that's ever existed in Tribe history is one that we've rewritten and rewritten and rewritten and rewritten, and I've rewritten and rewritten and rewritten and rewritten.
Yeah, fair enough. So jumping forward now to what you guys are today. I like the way that you describe it on your Facebook page, dystopian music for a totalitarian world, which is as brilliantly specific as it is very vague. It's just
we win.
ticks both boxes. But for those people watching who might have yet to check you guys out, how would you quickly, I guess, elevator pitch describe the sound that you guys are going for?
I'll let you take this one.
Hard question. It's sort of a really weird mishmash of all our influences and things that really excite us, which is like from extreme metal to hyper pop to industrial to synth wave. And it's a really weird blend of all those genres and styles to just create something interesting and just makes us excited. We never like to restrict ourselves in terms of what we're making, as long as it feels authentic and genuine and makes a powerful song, really. When I've had to describe it in the past, I've sort of said it's sort of this kind of perfect marriage between beauty and chaos, and we play to our strengths in that we can, it's great that both me and Adam can sing together and make these beautiful harmonies and like these gorgeous kind of sections, and then just make it into this horrific, heavy in the depths of darkness mess that it can get to as well, and just play with both extremes.
It's the hardest thing to say. Like my kind of influences and everyone's like come from stuff like industrial, so like Nine Inch Nails, Northern Punisher, Cult of Luna, Perturbator, and as those kind of combine with everyone feeding all of their ideas into my head, it then just creates this weird, everyone's ideas just create this melting pot of madness. And yeah, it's very hard to explain it, except from just, in essence, madness.
I do always enjoy asking bands in the post-metal spectrum how to describe their sounds. There's like that 10-second silence where it just sort of buffers trying to what do we sound like? But you mentioned a couple there already, but were there, when you started the writing process, were there any bands or artists that you sort of wanted to take key inspiration from?
Oh God, yeah. For me, Cult of Luna, Perturbator, Nine Inch Nails, Northern Punisher. Those four are some of my biggest influences. Health has recently become a really big influence for me as well, so I've been adding that in. And the influences from Ben and Danny and Becky are so different to mine. And then when they feed them when we all feed them and pull them all together, it just ends up with this weird, mad thing. I've been listening to a lot of stuff that I listen to, as well as the heavier post-metal stuff, is like massive playlists of dark synth and synthwave and tech and dark electronica and stuff like that. So it's and the EBM. It's very very fun. It's weird. It's so weird to try and go like, this is what we do. What do we do? Everything.
So just to swim back to the word we mentioned earlier, dystopian, that kind of, to me, I think to a lot of people that invokes a very specific sort of theme and setting in their heads. Is there sort of a core theme or idea that runs through the music that you guys write?
I'd say particularly with our first body of work that we're still in the process of recording at the moment, is which Adam wrote, which is a concept album basically about a dystopian society. And I feel like the influences we bring to that, which is this horrible mishmash of pop and commercialism, consumerism, with then this kind of chaotic kind of energy and some of these heavy emotions, kind of really frames that. And even when at some point when we release this body of work and we move on to other stories and things in our writing, because we're very conceptual, I think that will still always be reflected. So in terms of dystopian, it is, that blend of the sort of consumerism that sort of thrusts down people's throats and popular culture alongside that kind of underlining sense of dread and despair.
Sounds awesome. I can't wait to hear that when it eventually drops. We'll swing back to new music in just a little bit. But of course, it wouldn't be a Crushing Sounds video without me mentioning the B word, that my people at home know exactly where I'm going with this. So of course, I discovered you guys at Bloodstock Festival.
Hey.
Always find an excuse to talk about Bloodstock on this channel. I checked your music out ahead of the festival, as I do for as many bands on the bill as I can. And out of all the new Blood bands, you guys jumped out of me instantaneously. I mean, nothing against the other guys, all the other bands on the new Blood this year, but my God, there was a lot of death metal this year. It was like 90% death metal. So I love death metal as much as the next guy, but it was so refreshing when you guys came out, and I heard you guys and you came out on stage. It was so cool, so different to everyone else that was there that year. So how did that set go for you guys from your perspective? No one got heat stroke, I hope.
It was very hot. That's my main memory. Just dripping in sweat. I think it went well. We're very excited. I think that was the main thing.
It was all very exciting. My guitar goes launching at every gig, and I think that was the first time I actually launched my guitar at something. So that was pretty cool.
There's a clip actually of that we saw right at the end of that set, where I'm sort of to the crowd, and suddenly I hear a big clang on the floor, and I turn and I look. Adam's just basically left his guitar for ruin on the ground and walked off. And
the rest of the guys were like, if you just like drop your guitar on the ground, we're just giving up. And then I was like, no, I just launched it. So the rest of the crew wanted to put it back, and it was just me just going. It was like throwing it up in the air and just going like, I've had a brilliant time. I've gone bang. Oh shit.
So it was a great show. And you just no fucks given, launch your guitar in the air.
It was well done. So
I remember the atmosphere in the tent being really, really good. I can't remember who it was you played at the same time with. I think it was Dimmu Borgir, I think, at the same time, which was, for me, I thought, I feel so bad because Dimmu Borgir had been like third time coming playing Bloodstock. They've cancelled like 3 times in a row. Everyone's going to go see them. But no, the atmosphere in the tent when you guys were playing was really, really, really good. So that was a really cool show.
I think the kind of that, honestly, I think because Ingester played as well. So we sadly missed our bed Lenny. But Ingester played at the same time, and Dimmu did too. And I think that the fact that we're so vastly different to them played to our strengths. It's not in a way to say like, oh no, we're so vastly different, but because we have this weird combination of like commercial hyperpop and atmospheric industrial dread, it kind of creates this. It's such a different sound. It's something new. It's something different. I think that came across, and it was quite nice. It's really lovely to see some new faces, to make some new friends.
Yeah. And I won't sit here arrogantly and say it was because I told people to go listen to you guys on our YouTube video before the festival, but we'll say 2 people were there at least because of that. Me and my brother. There you go.
It was very much appreciated. I'll tell you that for certain.
No problem. Thanks for doing an awesome set because it's really, really good. Loved every second of it. And it also, I noticed after the festival you got selected by Eyesore Merch to be featured on their website, which that must have been really surreal. How did that happen?
Out of nowhere. It was like a couple of days, even a few days before the festival. So we were just prepping and getting ready, and then suddenly this email pops in our band inbox, just being like, "Hi, that you were shortlisted." So sort of how it works is the finalists get shortlist gets sent to Eyesore, and then they pick their sort of couple of favorites from that, and we were one of them. And it literally said it in his email, and I was like, "Is this real? Is it spam? What is going on?" And then it was all legit, and it's we got to meet the guys at the festival as well, and that was really fun. We're still working out our partnership with them at the moment, just because getting the right amount of stock up there, mainly because you have to bulk buy it, and then we're actually doing quite well, and it's hard to get all the sizes they want, so we can't send it to them yet. So hopefully with the next order that we do, we'll be able to send a load straight to them and actually get on the website and get rolling. We're really excited about it.
Yeah, that'd be awesome to get all that out there for loads of people to see, and quite an easy spot to grab some of your stuff. So that would be great. Did you guys stick around for the whole weekend at Bloodstock?
Yeah. We had a proper holiday. It was
always the way to do it. Who are some of your favorites this year?
Harriet.
Yes, fucking yes. Harriet are amazing.
They blew us away. Malevolence were great.
So good. Sleep Token, Malevolence, Sleep Token, Harriet. I fucking adore them so much. I had so much fun. New Blood was amazing as well. So we saw our Birds in Denali and Sylvain, and they were amazing. Really gutted I missed Rise to Remain, but that was because Recall the Remain, sorry. Because our Birds in Recall the Remains, because me and Becky were busy doing interviews all day. That was fun. But yeah, Harriet, Sleep Token, Malevolence.
Yeah. If Harriet aren't on people's watch list at the moment, for God's sake, put them on there because they're so good. They're just going to go places. Definitely keep your eye on them for sure. And of course, exciting news we got semi recently. You are returning once more to the hallowed ground of Bloodstock Festival for 2023 to play the Sophie stage on, I believe it's the Thursday, if I've got that right.
Yep.
Awesome.
We're opening the whole thing.
It's always the best day to play because everyone's there, everyone's merry, and there to have a great time. So that's can't wait for that. It's going to be awesome. I'm sure you guys are excited to go back.
Absolutely. We've got some big stuff planned. So we wanted to make sure, we got this brilliant opportunity to go back. Not only go back the following year, which I think is like almost unheard of to be asked back that quickly. So, we're sort of prepping at the moment, alongside recording, we're got a lot of things in the works to help sort of make it really special.
Yeah, brilliant. Cannot wait for that. It's going to be great. So at the time of this interview, you have released 2 tracks that one can find, like on the generic social streaming stuff, Rain and, of course, Cold. As it's only 2 tracks, fuck it, let's talk about them both. We'll start off with Cold, because why the hell not? Really cool track, no pun intended. It was fully intended. Heavy as hell. Love the ending as well. It's fucking awesome. Can you tell me a bit about how that track in particular came together?
Well, we sort of starts with like standardly, which is Adam writes an incredible instrumentation, and we sort of see him as our musical director, really, and we give him the thumbs up if we like it, and we were like, yep, we love it. And then me and Adam get to work on the top lines together. Sort of, because this is part of the sort of larger body of work, which is about Soapy Society. This particular song is about organ harvesting, which is great.
Hence Cold, I guess.
Yeah. Adam had all the lyrics written and stuff, and we were going through the song, and I was really keen to try and input something similar to in Knife Party, Deftones, and sort of the wailing samples and things, which is where sort of the ending comes from, where it sort of quietens down and the build up happens to sort of start off with something pretty and then send it to madness?
It's no, I kind of, again, I like Becky said, I'm kind of the melting pot. So everyone, I kind of, I get ideas, put them all together, throw them out to everyone, go, do you like it? And if they're like, no, I'm like, cool, okay, I'll do something new. Or if they do like it, then it's like a wicked, then we can go with this. And the lyrics for Cold were, it was organ harvesting, but like battery harvest, like on a battery farming kind of level. It kind of sparked the idea for the rest of the concept. I had some bits and pieces already that I wanted to play with, but Cold was the one that really started it off. And it was just wanted to write something really sludgy and really heavy, and it kind of worked. It sounded pretty fun.
Yeah, great stuff. And so you also got the track Rain, which has come out as well. Just to put it out there, I fucking love this track. It's so cool. I love how ambient and brooding it is, but also kicks you in the dick as well. I describe it tool that keeps kicking you in the dick repeatedly, I think, is more or less how I describe it. It's the same question. How did that one in particular come to be? Similar.
Kind of the similar vein. I think the vocals, that was go on, Becky.
Well, it was a pivotal moment because that was like my first session of deciding whether this was me being in the band was going to work. So how that all started really was me, like we've all been friends for years, and actually in one of Adam and Danny's previous bands, my boyfriend played bass in it, so I was kind of the wag at this point, but still a musician and singing in my own right, just doing very different things. And when Adam messaged me when I decided to see whether I would be interested, I was like, absolutely, let's give it a go. But it was still very, at this point when we got to Rain, still deciding whether would it work? This was just to test the waters a bit, and we sort of worked on a couple of tracks. One of them, which we don't play anymore, that's turned to something completely different. But Rain was one that, even though we changed some of the arrangement and added more to it when we rearranged our tracks at the beginning of 22, it's one of those that stuck. And it was our first time where we were like, let's really play with this double vocal arrangement and like how we can make the most of that. And it was really interesting to test my top line right as well, because I haven't really done it in a long time when we wrote this track. So it's good to kind of just get stuck in with songwriting and, hit the deep end, and feel like it paid off.
Yeah, it sounds she did such a good job. It's wicked. And it was, I think as well, it was Ben's first time of really not so much like me doing this. It was more of, because for a lot of our stuff, although I write the instrumentals, it's very much up to kind of like, if as we're writing it, if Ben or Danny think there's a better thing to do, then all up for that. And on the demo, all I did was just kind of like root notes on bass to go beneath me. And then when we gave it to the band, Ben just fully pulled out this Tool nonsense. So I was like, yeah, go on, mate, go to have fun with it.
Yeah, if in doubt, add some Tool.
Yeah.
Just tends to work. So of course, obvious question coming in. I love what I've heard so far. So what I need to know is, when can we expect to hear some more music from you guys? Because I need it.
Well, very, very soon. We are in the very final stages of finishing our next single. We're finishing it this week and shooting the music video for it this week. We're very impatient and very excited. We're hoping to get it out as soon as we goddamn can, because it's been so long. But obviously we want to do this single justice as well, so we don't want to rush the release. So find the balance of getting it out as soon as possible, but making sure it gets the best release it can. So it might take a little bit of prep, a little bit of strategy, but we've got some exciting things in the works. So that's the first thing. We're also in the final stages of finishing our album, which got some things going on behind the scenes, and we're hoping to see where that takes us before kind of committing to saying when that's going to come out. So hopefully we'll have more news over the next couple of months.
Awesome. Really, really exciting. Cannot wait for that. As well as getting all that finished and sorted and planned and whatnot. I was also perusing just how many shows you've got coming up.
Yeah,
2023. You guys aren't stopping anytime soon by the looks of
God,
things.
no.
Does it feel like you're about to enter into a hurricane or spinning plates the size of Toyotas or something?
I think it's so all of us, because when we've gone through all this kind of stuff, I learned a lot from my old band. So a lot I had to learn a lot from my own mental well-being, and one for us to do what we did. And that was and in doing that, it kind of taught me a lot of lessons in how to kind of make a more do the hard work to get loads of stuff put in, but do it in a way that's not gonna hurt us and harm us. So though definitely we've got a whirlwind bunch of shows coming up. All of them are like meticulously planned. It hasn't been a case of going like, oh, yeah, we'll take that gig, we'll take that one, we'll take that one. It's like, okay, this is happening then. Are you free? Have we got this date? What can work for you? Are you guys going to be okay with this? Is that cool? And everything we've worked on, it's all been so meticulously planned and organized. The promoters that we're working with are incredible. That we've done so much work to kind of we put the hard work in to make it a really fun experience for us, and also to give everyone the best show. That's at the end of the day, that's all we ever want, is just to be able to play a show and have everyone after and say, be like, yeah, that was a wicked, that was a fun gig. We want them to feel the same thing that we feel. And it's that intensity, it's that like euphoric intensity that we get. We just want to ram it down people's throats.
I mean, it's to the point where we're starting to put on some of our own shows as well, and self-promoting in our hometown. Just because there's so many amazing bands that we're super keen to play with, but sometimes you're at the mercy of promoters and who they decide to put on and who they think is going to fit on a bill and whatnot. So we started doing that our first one in September, which went really, really well. And we've actually got our next one on the 11th of February at Green Door Store. And we're so excited. We're getting to play with our really good friends, All Hail Dog Again, who were our Bloodstock buddies, love them to death. And we finally get to play with Forlorn, who were meant to play a show, actually our Metal to the Masses final, which we won last summer. We were meant to play with them, but unfortunately we couldn't do because of sickness in the band. But we've sort of been building a friendship online and just gassing each other up, really. And we're so excited to actually be able to play with them. And literally counting down the weeks.
Yeah, and it's like as well as that one as well, because we from that gig, they also, we're so excited for that one. We've been putting the work in, putting posters up all around the place, leaflets on, we love putting on our own shows. It's been really, really fun. And they also shared, they need some support, so we would say, hey, can we do it? And like, yeah, fuck yeah. So we're making band friends. It's so fun. Making as many band friends as possible, trying to help that community, build that community we kind of want to see, and it's been really fun.
Yeah, of course. Obviously, because there's so many shows that we could talk about that you guys have got coming in the pipeline. So check out links in the description below so people can check out your social medias and your link trees and all that stuff. I've got to rep my hometown though. Anything happening potentially in Bristol anytime soon?
We have been working on it, but we've got nothing confirmed just yet. Don't want to say that we are. Don't want to say that we aren't. We're working on it, and fingers crossed, should be this year. We are working on it, so fingers crossed we're going to get there. I promise. I want to come back to Bristol. It's been so fun playing. Yeah, so I definitely want to come back.
Yeah. Also, not hinting or anything, but my band are bored, so just if you need support, but whatever, we'll talk later.
I think that's definitely a chat for later. It's definitely a chat for later.
Yeah, cool. So that's nearly everything I've got, but we always like to close out our interviews the same way every single time by giving you some random quick fire questions that have nothing to do with anything, so you can think as long or as quickly as you like. You can debate amongst yourselves. You do not have to reach a consensus. If anything, it's more fun if you fight it out. So we have a recurring first question that we always start with. We've recently changed it to another one. We just think it's funny to ask about this band in particular. So, do you like the band Ghost?
Yeah, well, they're great. I think they're cool. And it's literally one of Adam's favourite bands.
I did not. This was not intentional. I just happened to be wearing this. I swear.
It's all
to God.
good. All good. I love them. Saw
So-
them live. Saw them live at the Brighton Dome. Adored it. It was my favourite gigs. I love Ghost so much.
Yeah, we're building a tally just to rally the Ghost army, as it were. So, Ghost, pro Ghost is winning at the moment, just so you know.
Nice. Try with Ghost is pro Ghost.
Exactly. Yeah, it just fits really.
Yeah.
He'll be touring with them in no time. Next question: do you prefer traditional metal or modern metal?
For me, modern, but I've always appreciate, you know, where it came from, the origins. But I think if I was going to pick something up, you know, one or the other, it would be sort of anything that's sort of more modern.
I
Agreed.
think for me, traditional classic metal is awesome. Don't get me wrong, I do love it. But my brain is wired to hear a million different things firing in my face. So it's the more, I think for me, it's a lot of music where it's very bitty and it's a little bit kind of more chaotic. And I think most modern stuff in the extreme realm kind of, or more kind of traditional stuff that brings in kind of like those elements of industrial and electronica. That's what really breaks my ears out.
Yeah, awesome. Favorite band / artist?
We love so many, but we'll never agree on just one. Because there's too many. I mean, I always adore Rina Sawayama. Massive influence. Oh my God, there's so many. Grimes, Charlie XCX, Spirit Box, all that sort of stuff. Guys,
Yeah.
what is
I've thrown that out there earlier. Mine's like Cult of Luna, Perturbator, Health, Orphan Punisher, 9 Inch Nails, and my ultimate combination of both Perturbator and Cult of Luna. Final Light, I adore them. Not to say that everything else that we listen to, I listen to on a daily basis. I bombard myself with horrible noises and crazy pop. One of my favorite songs is "I Rule the World" by is it by Liz?
Yeah.
Me and Becky sing along to that on cars on the way back to "I Rule the World." And I'm just like, yeah, this is really really cool. And there's me just bald-headed guy with metal tattoos just sitting there going, fully my vibe. But yeah,
if that's not the music video, I swear to God.
That'll be the next one.
And fave bands, go.
I refuse to answer that question.
Refuse as a band?
Yeah, refused. Yeah, there's too many. It depends what mood you're in, I think. I like all sort of different genres. So it's a very hard question.
Fair enough.
I'm gonna cop out.
Do you prefer mosh pit or standing at the barrier?
Ooh. I'm a barrier kind of person. As much as I like the idea of being in a mosh pit, I just don't like the idea of getting hit in the face. So, and I also prefer to actually be able to see the show that you're watching and stuff, because I think you're there to really connect with what's going on the stage and stuff. And so I'd rather be at the barrier or by the sound desk.
Yeah, I'm
Because
in that.
the sound.
Mine's either the sound desk or the mosh pit. I did lose my shit a little bit when Sleep Token were playing, so I fell on my ass. It was during Higher. That was so good. But I was having a little mosh by myself by the barrier and fell on my ass. So good.
How about you, Ben?
I don't know. Yeah, probably barrier. It depends how much I've had to drink, really. Like mosh pit occasionally.
Standing at the bar, maybe.
Yes, occasionally. Dependent.
Going off of music, favorite cuisine?
Mexican.
Ooh.
I love Mexican.
I'd probably say Italian. A little pesto.
We'll go Indian.
Yes. Yeah, Indian's mine, definitely. Just had a curry this evening, in fact.
Me too.
Nice. Completely. Just thought of this now. How hot do you like your curry?
I like it. I'm medium, medium to a little bit hot, not crazy, because otherwise I'm burping my guts up the rest of the day.
I'm a medium kind of gal. I like a bit of a kick, but I don't want it to incinerate my mouth, like, because I think it just ruins the flavor. So not best of both worlds.
Yeah, I can do spicy, but then at a certain point, you're not really tasting the food anymore. Just
Well,
it's endurance.
yeah, I'm a spicy the better kind of guy.
Yeah, fair enough.
Vindaloo every time.
Nice.
It's the best. Favorite movie?
Oh, that's really hard because I have a top five.
You can give me 5 if you want.
Go on, Bradley.
Top five: Dark Crystal, right? Yeah, that's number.
Nice.
School of Rock, The Goonies. That's 3. Mean Girls is one of my favorites as well, and I think that's full. Actually, to be fair, I keep watching Aliens. I keep going back to that film, and I've watched that since childhood. Basically, I spent my childhood watching films I really shouldn't have, and most of it is sci-fi horror of that realm. And yeah, so I watched Aliens probably when I was like between ages of 8 and 10, and was like, "This is sick. Everyone's dying. It's great."
Trying to think of mine. I've been obviously, so I remember I loved Lord of the Rings when I was younger. Absolutely loved Lord of the Rings. So of course Lord of the Rings would be in there. But I feel like it's all 3 and I can't really pick which one's the best because they're all incredible. Final Fantasy Advent Children. I loved that when I was younger. It was one of the best things ever. I love what else? I know mostly I'm kind of because mostly I'm more like books orientated. So it's really hard for me to pick like my top film because I don't really watch that many films. I love books, absolutely love books.
Well, I've another very hard question. I saw Terminator 2 again the other day. That was good.
Nice.
As an action film, proper 80s. I guess Star Wars is pretty nostalgic. Against that as a kid, or like Tarantino films. I don't know. Again, depending on mood.
Yeah, for sure. Always been Lord of the Rings for me. And again, I could never pick one.
It's Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
I feel like if you pick Lord of the Rings, you're picking all 3. You don't really have a choice here. Oh,
exactly.
Pan's Labyrinth. Love Pan's
Labyrinth.
Labyrinth.
That's a great movie. That's a great movie.
And sod it. No, I've got 2. No, I just thought about it. Pan's Labyrinth, Hellboy. Absolutely, those 2 were the shit. I fucking love them.
That's fair enough. Awesome. Summer versus winter.
Summer, all day.
I think summer.
I've recently gone over to summer, but that's because I can't ride my motorbike during winter, and I've fallen in love with riding my motorbike. So I'm just like, damn it, I can't ride it.
I feel like if I'm in that season, I prefer the other one. So like,
yeah, always the way.
If you come at me in July and ask me that question, I'd be like winter.
But right now, okay, I need summer back.
Yes.
So fucking
yes.
God. So back to music. Breakdowns or sing-alongs?
I like both. I think both are the absolute jam.
I mean, you kind of do both, really.
We absolutely do both. I can't pick between the 2.
I'll go breakdown.
As a vocalist, I feel like it's my duty to go sing along. So that's what I'm going to say.
Very even split there. And final question. Favorite Tribe of Ghosts song?
I want to say the ones that we play live and haven't released.
If you wanted to reveal an unreleased track, I wouldn't say no.
We can't even announce them. There's some good ones. A lot of them are. There's one that we've already played live. False Gods is a good fave of mine, but there's a handful that we can't even really say at the moment because we're literally holding it back until they're released, which is driving us crazy, and we're so desperate to play them, but we know we have to wait, and it's really annoying. And but one of them we're going to be playing at our next show, so which we're very excited for.
I've got 3, which two of them we can't say because I'm really excited to play them live, and we don't want to talk about them until we drop them. And opening track Hive, I love playing that because it's just a proper vibe. It's just so fun to play. It's just a lot of fun, and the whole set's brilliant. It's basically like going for, instead of being like, oh yeah, no, that song's rubbish, I don't really like that. This is the best one. It is purely a case of going, all of them are my favorite children, but you 3 are my more favorite children.
I mean,
we struggled to take them out the set. We're just like, how can we play them faster?
Literally, it's like, can we look? We've got a half-hour set. Can we do like 8 songs? It's like, no, we can't. That's not possible.
To be fair, though, I mean, if that's not a ring endorsement for checking out the new album, I don't know what is. It's like the favorite track is coming soon. So
there's like the favorite track is next single. There's another one that we can't talk about, and the next one that we can't talk about. They're just so fun. They're so fun, and they're just really fun to play, and that's what I love about it. It's not one of those ones like, oh yeah, they're going to be like our hardest and our heaviest tracks and that kind of stuff. I don't think we're ever aiming for like, this is the heaviest one we're ever going to write or the hardest one. It's just like, I like that one. That was fun. And they were just really fun tracks.
All the unreleased ones. So if anyone wants to know what they are, they've got to come to a show.
Yes.
As I say, affiliate links down in the description below. I'll put a big banner on right there as well, just reminding people.
just right in the middle, just gigs.
Ben says, buy tickets, please. Cool. So that really is all the questions I've got. That's all we got time for. So thanks again so much, guys, for joining me today and spending time talking about music, Bloodstock, new stuff, all that. It's been great. Great first interview of 2023. So thanks so much.
Yeah, thank you so much for having us.
Cheers, guys. So, of course, as I say, again, check out the links below to support the band, find out where you can see them, get their music and all that, and go listen to some amazing heavy metal. And I'll see you all in the next video.